How's it going, lads? Welcome back to another episode of Viking Vlogs, and welcome to my new bike. This is kind of the reason I haven't been recording as much lately, as much as I said I was going to do this year. The TDR I had decided to absolutely shit itself, and I've been off the road for the last 3 months or so. So I picked this up just about 2 weeks ago, I think, in Cork. It's a Benelli BN 125, the 2019 version. I'm absolutely in love with it, lads. Today is kind of just going to be a review of this more so than that, and then testing out the new GoPro, the new recording system, everything like that. We'll see how it goes. I'm after doing about 1,000 kilometers on it, so I said this is about the time I'd want to do the review on it, because I actually have a bit of information on it and how it feels and what it's like to actually ride it, rather than just the power and the weight and all that stuff that you get off the internet, you know. I have decided I'm going to sit here awkwardly while these people walk past, because I do not like talking to myself around other people, because you look like a fucking maniac. On the bike it's okay, because the visor is down and all you can hear is the engine and no one really knows any different, but I'm sitting at the end of the Greenway in Waterford at the minute, and yeah, I look like a bit of a psychopath as it is with the helmet on, sitting around the place, so yeah, we're going to keep quiet for a minute. One, two, three. This is the bike. It's a Benelli BN 125, the 2019 version. It's absolutely gorgeous, first and foremost. They say it took inspiration from, but more like absolutely copied the style of the Ducati Monster. But it looks absolutely amazing. They have it in black, white, which I got because like it's just the best, and a full red version as well. It's the 2019 model, so it's Euro 4 compliant, which means it has fuel injection, which is lovely. After cold mornings trying to start the TDR, I don't have to worry about choking and warming the engine up and all that shite. It's just turn the key and go. It also has combined braking, so when you press on the back lever, your back disc brake, yeah, both disc brakes goes, but also your front one comes on a little bit, and same with your front lever. After you go past a certain point, you'll feel the rear brake starting to go down under your foot as well, which takes a little bit of getting used to, but it just makes it that little bit more stable, that you're not going to slide your arse out going around a roundabout on a wet day or something like that. Nice big chunky exhaust on it, although it does sound a little bit like a fucking scooter going around the place still. I think I may need to change that in the very near future once the first service is up for the warranty. You have sports style seat on the front with your little pillion seat on the back, and your pinion handle, so you can get a commuter box for it as well, but I thought it just kind of ruined the look of the bike, so I left it the way it was. Nice big chunky tank, makes it look like an awful lot bigger bike than it is. And one thing I really like about it compared to the TDR is the fact that because it's cut in like this, you actually have something to put your knees into, and as well as that, it's such a lower bike than the TDR was that it makes you want to nearly try and drag a knee going around the corner, you know. It feels really good under you when you take it on a twisty road. As far as the dash is concerned, actually, first of all, the stock keys they give you look like this. Little Benelli symbol and shit on them, but they look remarkably like a switchblade. And I'm not sure how I feel about going through airport security with it. But anyway, she does her little song and dance. A fully digital display, so you have your speed in either kilometers or miles depending on where you are, gear indicator, a fuel indicator, which is very fucking nice. If any of you watched any of my other videos, you know I've had a run in with that already, running out of petrol. So actually being able to know how much is left in this thing is very fucking nice. Revs across the top, your total trip, and you have 2 different modes then after that as well for trips depending on what you want to keep track of. As far as the actual handlebars are concerned, then you have your usual stuff, your low beam, your high beam, your indicators on and off, your horn, pass light up the top, then hazard lights on this side, your starter and your kill switch. So all fairly standard stuff, but they're nice under your hand, you know, when something's after being pressed, everything kind of has a nice little thunk to it every time you press something, which is nice. After coming from the TDR where 19 years or so of people pressing switches and messing with stuff, you never really knew if your indicator was on or not. Around the front then, I'll put on the hazards for a second. Around the front then you have full LED indicator lights, really nice LED running lights. On the front they just look mean, but the only thing that ruins it is that your main light, which also comes on as a daytime running light, is a regular bulb, and it's yellowy and a bit shit looking, so that might be going soon. We were up the front then as well. My probably favourite thing looks wise about the bike is these bad boys. Upside down forks. They're really fucking nice. They look really good. They feel really good. They pitch the front of the bike down just that little bit lower, so it feels a lot sportier going into a corner, which is nice. And your kind of alloy spoke wheels then as well, which is nice as well. One other thing actually that I didn't mention is, as stock, they give you adjustable brake handles, which is really thoughtful, really nice. I'll give her a start up and let you hear what it's like. It sounds pretty okay. Hornet 600 or I have a Jigsaw and all this shit, and I do that in first gear, but I'm not in a rush anywhere, and it's got me in trouble as it is, so I'm not going to complain too much. So that's it then with the front running light on as well. It's just a nice looking bike, really. The fairings on the front as well, the kind of the half fairings on the front then as well, they just make it look that bit wider and that bit meaner when it's coming at you on the road as well, you know. It does stand out a bit. It's the first one of these bikes that's come in around definitely the city of Waterford, if not the southeast of the country in general. which is nice. It's strange having a bike like that because, yeah, it's Chinese and all the shit that goes with Chinese bikes in the biker community, but I had it out at the bike show in Tremor a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lot of people taking second looks at it, you know. I had a lot of conversations about people with where I got it and how much it was and all that. Actually, while I'm on where I got it and how much, I got it in Ross Motorcycles in Cork for about $3,000, which for a bike that looks like this, with warranty, the whole lot, you know, how could you go wrong? The boys below there as well, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met. I rang them up 3 or 4 times before I went down to buy it, asking questions and just generally wrecking their heads about every little possible detail I could find on the bike, and they always wanted to answer, you know, which I'm eternally grateful for, because it's a bike that there's not too much on the internet that I could find anyway about it. There's some videos up on YouTube, but they're Italian guys or Spanish guys or whatever that are doing the videos, so trying to get the information out of it can be a bit tricky. So that's kind of one of the reasons I said I'd do a little video on it, because everyone should have one of these bikes, man. If you're getting a 125 and you're looking at something brand new, it's $2,000 cheaper than the YZF-R, and it's about 600 cheaper where I bought it than the new Suzuki GSXS or whatever the fuck it's called. It looks just as good, goes as good, sounds as good, and I had enough money left in my wallet for insurance on it for the year, so why wouldn't you know? I suppose all that's left, you know, after seeing the bike, we'll go for a little spin and you can see what it's like to ride, and I'll have a bit more of a chat about what I like and what I don't like about it. So, first of all, lads, I suppose the first thing I need to say is this is the first new bike I've had, but it's the third bike I've owned, and my god, is this my favourite bike I've had. It's a weird one because it's so low to the ground, but it's also a bit more aggressive stance wise, I suppose you call it, when you're sitting on the bike. It gave me a lot of confidence in riding the bike, you know. It wants you to take the corner pretty hard. It wants you to pretend you're Valentino Rossi going around the back road at 70 or 80k, you know, which makes it so much fun to ride. Now, I'm not for a minute going to say it's going to break any land speed records or anything like that, but for what I use the bike for, getting to and from work, and you know, a sunny day like today, going for a bit of a spin, it's absolutely ideal. One thing I will say about the bike is, on a country road, you do not go into fifth because of the gear ratios they have on it, being kind of a commuter town bike more so than nothing else. It'll do 50 or 60 in second, but if you're pottering along at 70, 75 on a back road like this and try to knock it up into fifth, you're going to slow down more so than nothing else. But it's nimble, you know. It's a light little bike, so you don't feel like you're being dragged around the road. When you try and lean it into a corner, you kind of just suck down that arse cheek a little bit and it's going around for you. One thing I will say about it is, being the first bike I've had that has the combined braking system, it does take just a little bit of getting used to. It's good to stop, as you can see there, you know, but it's a strange feeling, especially if you're coming up to a traffic light or something like that and you're just putting on your back brake. You can feel the front end start to sit down as well, which is, it's strange. Like, I can see why they done it. It has to improve the safety of the bike, you know, but at the same time it's just a little bit disconcerting, I suppose is the word. The first couple of times you plant your foot and you feel the nose of the bike start to go down, but the brakes are very good. There's two big beefy disc brakes, front and back, and I don't think I've had to properly lock it up yet, but I've fairly well crammed on the brakes a couple of times just to test it out, and it nearly puts you over the handlebars with the force of the braking behind it. So brakes wise, I definitely recommend it. Oh god, come on, I'm trying to make a video here. Oh, gravel. That is the one thing I fucking hate about country roads. For some reason, every road which I want to ride this bike on, within a fucking 50-kilometer radius, has decided the middle of the summer, when all the bike guys want to be on their bikes, is the perfect time to just throw gravel in every fucking pothole that exists. But we won't get into that today. That's a video for another day. If you're looking into this bike, you're like me, you want something that's fun on the back road and you want something to get you to and from work. So I suppose it's worth mentioning that I'm on 931 kilometers right now, and I got it with just over half a tank of petrol in it, and I've put €20 into it since, which is absolutely fucking insane fuel economy. The thing goes on the sniff of petrol, it's insane. Oh, dead end. This is the risks we take going on random country roads. But yeah, it was something I was more than a little surprised by when I got the bike first, you know. I drove it from Cork City to Waterford on my first spin on the bike, and I think it only used something like a quarter of a tank of petrol, you know. So from that point of view, if it is something that's just getting you to and from work, you're not going to be filling the thing every second day or anything like that, you know. The acceleration on it is pretty good too, and because of the noise it makes when you're accelerating as well, it feels like you're doing 100 fucking mile an hour. It's great. I suppose the other main thing with, I suppose Benelli is one, but just Chinese bikes in general, everyone gives them a bad rap that they're going to fall apart and this, that and the other, but I can tell you with absolute honesty that this bike feels so much more solid than the TDR that I had, that was supposedly this great Japanese old school bike that people have put 400,000 kilometers on and never even had to change the oil and shit, you know. So I don't know, I'm definitely not of the school of thought that there's something wrong with a Chinese bike. Just from my own personal experience, I suppose, I've had 2 bikes before this one. I had the Kiwi Superlight that you guys didn't see, which, for as slow as it was and as heavy as it was and whatever, I never had one single day where that thing didn't start up for me as soon as I turned the key and just went, really. The TDR, on the other hand, as I said, the electrics went on it. That was the kind of the final blow on it that left me off the road for the last 3 months trying to get the money together for this thing. But as well as that, then it feels so good to lean over. As well as that, you know, I had to redo fork seals on it twice. It drank oil, it drank petrol, the chain snapped on me, the electrics went, the lights were going. It decided every second or third day that no, today you're not going to have headlights. So don't knock until you try it, man, because this is serious one. Now, I'm not going to say it's all rosy in the castle, you know, there is problems with this bike too that I suppose some of them are 125 bike general problems, some of them are, I suppose, maybe Chinese bike problems, and maybe others are just this particular one that I happened to pick out of the showroom in Cork when I went down to pick it up. But as great as the brakes are on the bike, if you're taking it handy going up the road and you just want to scrub off a little bit of speed, it can feel a little bit bitey. As I said, the exhaust doesn't sound great when you're up in the revs, but when it's flat out or when you're just barely pottering along, it sounds great, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. The other main, not issue, but thing I've noticed with this compared to the TDR is that it is a little bit slower top speed wise, but I suppose that's the whole 2-stroke versus 4-stroke thing, and carbs versus your fuel injection as well. So I'll take a couple of kilometers an hour for the sake of not having to top up on 2-stroke every 10 minutes, you know. One other thing I will say about this bike as a negative is, while I have done 1,000 kilometers in 2 weeks and I've drove it from Cork to Waterford, I've drove it to and from Carlow just yesterday, it's not a touring bike. The seat is not designed to be sat on for 2-3 hours at a time, and your ass, your back, your shoulders, everything will start to hurt after a certain point. But man, all that said and done, fuck me, even with all that, and you know, I could have got another cruiser, I could have got something like the TDR again, but if I was to go back to that showroom again and look through all the bikes, if I didn't pick this one out again, I'd be a fool. I absolutely love this thing. Although I should probably stop gushing over the thing, but it's my baby. I'm hoping to now finally get back on this whole motovlogging thing and actually try do some of what I set out to in the last video a couple of months ago before everything went wrong. So be expecting to see an awful lot more of this thing, because I don't ever want to not be on it anymore. Not only for the fact I love riding and I love the bike, but in 3 months getting to and from work I spent €900 on taxis. So yeah, don't be expecting to see me on any form of public transport anytime soon when I have this thing. If you like the video, give it an old thumbs up. As I said in a previous video, I'm trying to get up to triple-digit subscribers, so if you've watched this video or you've watched a couple of the videos before this, think about subscribing. There'll be a lot more coming, vlog wise, drone wise, stuff like that. So you know, it should be a fun summer now at a long fucking last. And yeah, I'll talk to you in the next one, lads. Good luck.